This is the Sunday Motivational Video. Every Sunday, we bring you a different type of video which should improve your life. Today, we're looking at 15 things you can't control in life. Welcome to Alux.com, the place where future billionaires come to get inspired. Hello, Aluxers. As human beings, we worry a lot, sometimes about things we can't control. That's why we decided to go through a list of things that are beyond our grasp, which you have no direct strings to pull in order to alter the outcome. Here at Alux, we're big advocates of writing your own destiny, taking life into your own hands and making the most with the little resources you have at your disposal. So why dedicate an entire video to a list of things that are so opposite of what is our bread and butter? We did this because the moment you realize you cannot control these things, you're free to stop worrying or beating yourself down because of them. This is the hand you've been dealt. It's time to be honest with yourself and focus on the things that you can change. While going through this list, we aim to make you realize that despite the fact that many aspects of your life are beyond your control, you can still craft your own path and make the most out of each situation. If you're new here, welcome. Be sure to subscribe and follow us on Instagram at Alux. With that said, here are the 15 things you can't control in life. Number 1. Where you were born. Depending on where you reside, your standards of living and access to education, health, and opportunities drastically differ. You cannot control where you were born, so it's important to make the most out of the hand you've been dealt. If you feel like this place isn't enough, you can work hard and move to a better, more advantageous location. Although you cannot choose where you were born, you are free to choose where you want to live. Number 2. When you were born. This is another big one because the period in which you're born comes with its own specific variables. You might be born in times of war or in times of prosperity. You might be born in the 1950s and have to fight polio, or you might be born in 2015 and fight the same disease that's coming back because people think vaccines cause autism. Personally, we love this period of time where we live right now. We were born with so many advantages, and so far, it's probably the best time to be alive. Medicinal breakthroughs happen every few months. Life expectancy is at an all-time high. The internet is just starting to mature and opened so many opportunities, finally creating an international, fairly free marketplace. You've been really blessed to be alive in this period of time. We really do have it easy. Number 3. Who your parents are. The first few years of your upbringing are incredibly important because they set the core values someone keeps with them for the rest of their life. This one is tricky because you don't choose your parents. What you need to understand is that despite differences in approach, almost all parents love their children and want them to be happy. This is biologically true. Just think of yourself. What are the chances that you would intentionally do something so that your child ends up unhappy and a failure? You would need to be a psychopath. The sad part is, most parents sabotage their children unwillingly by not allowing them to grow. They don't do this because they hate you. They do this because they don't know any better. Number 4. Talent. Some people are just born with a predisposition for certain things. Great for them. That's their advantage in life. If you were born with a particular talent, it's up to you to find ways to maximize the impact you can have with said talent. Although you can't control if you were born with a good voice or not, you can definitely control how much time you put into perfecting that craft. Please remember, hard work beats talent when talent doesn't work hard enough. Number 5. Luck. Luck in its purest form means you get a better hand when it comes to the things you can't control. For example, you get lucky if you're born in a developed country, during the early stages of the internet, with parents who are not actively trying to bring you down. Basically, luck is when any of the items mentioned in this video works in your favor, despite you not being able to affect them in any way. Now, this is not to be confused with creating your own luck, which means taking the necessary action to position yourself so that you can take full advantage of strategic opportunities. That's not luck, that's just being smart about life. While true luck is out of your control, the other type is something you create. You know what they say, the harder I work, the luckier I get. This is one of the many differences between those who succeed in life and those who fail. We strongly recommend you watch our video on the 15 things rich people do that poor don't by clicking in the top right corner. Number 6. Change. It doesn't matter if you like it or not, change is happening. New ideas overtake old ideas as the world just keeps moving forward. The last thing you want to do is to cling to old concepts just because they suited you better when you were coming up, or you're just simply too scared to embrace the change. The greatest example of this century lies in the human rights issues. Most developed countries have figured out how to embrace it, while countries stuck in the past still look at gay people as sinners. It's your call if you want to live in the future, or you're just too scared to break down the walls of old ideas. Same goes for self-driving electric cars, women's rights, discrimination based on the color of your skin, and so much more. The world is moving to an efficient future where it matters a lot less where you were born, and instead we want to know how much value you can really put out there. Number 7. Several diseases. There are still diseases we cannot cure or completely prevent, but we're working on them as a species. At this point, it's just an issue of throwing enough money and time at the problem until we rid ourselves of them. Today, you are less likely to die from traditional illnesses, and instead, at the top of the charts, you have diseases like Alzheimer's, schizophrenia, cancer, and diabetes. We are so fascinated by Bill Gates' efforts in this direction, who's pouring most of his wealth and time into this. Apart from his existing efforts, he's positive we'll be able to cure 4 more diseases in the next 15 years. We need more people in this world like Bill Gates. Number 8. The way most people look at life. Because public perception is skewed by so many factors, it becomes hard to control. Not everyone looks at life the same way you do, especially you, Aluxers. People have different priorities, different agendas, live in different environments, and you won't be able to see eye to eye with a large portion of the population. What you can control is your own view of the world, what you think your life should look like, and maybe bringing a positive change on the way others perceive it as well. Number 9. If someone genuinely loves you or not. Many of you will probably learn this the hard way when you're young. You cannot control true love, and that's actually a positive because if you were able to control it, it would no longer be true. Find yourself someone who cares so much for you, they would take on the world with you. Especially in this day and age, you need to be a lot more careful because love has been simplified and it's not the right type. The love we see all around is more picture-perfect love instead of being the real thing. Love has become a stepping stone, and for some, even a way to financial stability. So make sure it's real love, and you're not just being used. Number 10. Time. In the last couple of years, we realized that time has a way of accelerating as you get older, which, to be honest, is kind of freaky. Time is beyond our control, but that just makes the playing field equal for everybody. We all get the same 24 hours in a day, and roughly the same amount of time to have the biggest impact. But because we get all of it equally, most people neglect its value until it's too late. People waste time because they simply have too much of it and are not sure what to do with that time. That's how you end up binge watching a TV show which you aren't even really enjoying. When it comes to wasting time, you're only building up regret, and it all comes full circle when you're in the last part of your existence. Because when people look back on how much time they wasted, how many things they wish they did, it's sad to see people fall into mediocrity. One of the best videos on our channel has to do with the 15 lessons people learn too late in life, which you can check out by clicking in the top right corner. That video alone can give you a different appreciation for time and can provide you with some clarity. Number 11. Your data. At this point, we're just feeding this beast we've created called the internet. No matter how many cookies you decline, how many ad blockers you use, if you want to participate in this new marketplace of information, ideas, and content, you have to pay a price, and that comes in the form of your data. Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Google, these companies have made it their mission to understand who you are and how you're behaving. Based on this data, humanity is evolving into something beyond human. The world is racing towards building its first strong AI, and this type of progress we won't be able to stop. You might want to prepare yourself for this for when it happens. If you want to do so, we strongly recommend you pick up the following books: Life 3.0, Homo Deus, and Superintelligence. You can get one of these books for free as an audiobook if you go to Alux.com/freebook and sign up. Number 12. The economy. The way the economy works includes so many variables that you as a simple individual cannot control, and you should be aware of this. We've seen so many people just get wiped out in the 2008 crash because they simply thought the economy was just gonna keep going up. The fact that the economy as a whole is beyond our control should be something you worry about constantly. The only way to escape it is by being smart about the way you position yourself, about how many streams of income you have, and how diversified your livelihood is. The last thing you want to do is to be completely reliant on something you can't predict or manage yourself. Number 13. The government. At this point, the government seems to be doing its own thing. There are very few countries around the world where the population is pleased with how the country is being governed. The last thing we want to do on this channel is to get political. But what we do want you to take away from this point is do not rely on the government to solve your problems or take care of you. The entire climate has always been unreliable, so your life is in your own house. Don't expect the government to give you a job, to increase your minimum pay, or even take care of you when you're older. It's a lot less stressful to take care of these things by yourself. Number 14. Your past. If it happened, it is already beyond your control. How many of you wish you had the power to go back in time just for a couple of minutes and fix a mistake that you've made? Well, you can't, and you should stop living in the past. Accept it as it is and be a lot more strategic with your future, because the few days you have ahead of you at one point will become your past. People get so caught up in their past, they do not realize when they're wasting their present and their future. Number 15. Death. The last thing you can't control in life is your own death. We're all scared of dying to some degree. People are so scared of dying, though, they forget to live. The best thing you can do is embrace it. How much life can you fit into a lifetime? The goal of this video was to make you understand there are things beyond your control, and you should never waste time on worrying about those things that you have no power over. Instead, focus on those things you can control. Last Sunday, we made a video about just that, and it's incredible how much of your life is in your own hands. Now, Aluxers, we're really interested to know, which one of these 15 do you worry about the most? We always read the comments and engage with those we find the most interesting, so let us know what you think. And for sticking with us until the end, as a thank you, we have a solid piece of bonus info for you. Number 16. You can't control your genetics. Yet. There are some parts of yourself which you are born with as your default features, like how tall you are, the color of your eyes, your hair, etc. As humans, we hate being bound to something we can't control. That's why people have invented hair dye, colored contacts, you get the picture. Maybe you don't like how you were born and wish you could change it. Well, we're currently on the brink of a major shift of what humans will look like. We might be just one of the last generations born with default genetics. In the future, you'll be able to genetically design your children to have a better shot at life. You'll be able to make them less vulnerable to diseases like schizophrenia or Alzheimer's. While you're there, you might as well increase their perception and cognitive abilities, as well as optimize their physical body. This is one aspect of evolution where people are strongly divided between altering the human body or not. To be honest, we think it's going to happen anyway, no matter how any of us feel. If you're still watching this video, please write "new life" in the comments. That way we know you're ready to start living a better life than you've been living so far. Maybe this time worrying less about the things you can't control. Thank you for spending some time with us, Aluxers. Make sure to like and subscribe so you never miss another video. We also handpicked these videos, which we recommend you watch next. Thank you for being an Aluxer, and we'll see you back tomorrow.